good afternoon, or good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Good Brothers Committee podcast. I'm here again. Chad is on hiatus again this weekend. He's doing some work on his new home, but we still got the head scout with us today, Abraham Brumfield. How you making this Friday,
All
Abe?
right. Oh, everything's good my way.
Uh,
Just enjoying the Friday.
Good deal, good deal. But this week, the cigar of the week, we did Excellent Black. That's from Jeremy's cigar company. If you don't know Jeremy Ward with Soul Day Cigar Company, he does excellent black cigars out of Dominican Republic. This is the Robusto, and then so we also got the Friendship cigar, which one he sells a lot of. In fact, we got an event coming up with a cigar. Should be the end of September. I know we had September 17th listed down, but what we're gonna end up doing, I think he's headed to the Dominican Republic right now, so we're gonna end up doing it more or less at the end of the month. You smoked some of his cigars before, haven't you, Abe?
Yeah, I had quite a few of them. Friendship cigar in particular, I particularly enjoyed the Calibra.
Mm-hmm.
Calibra is three cigars that's intertwined in one package, but you
Right,
don't smoke them together. You just take them
right,
apart and smoke them.
right,
Yeah, they're some nice cigars. I have to give it to them.
right. Good deal. He's a local brother. We have a boss section here at Churchill, black-owned cigar companies, but it's another brother with his own cigar, so we definitely want to pump that up. So if you're interested in come by Churchill and pick up a excellent black cigar. Like I said, the Toro, this is one of our best sellers. And like Abe mentioned, the Friendship cigar. And this week, I had a conference call today, so I was smoking one of yours, a GTO Hypnotic. And I'm still
Very
smoking it.
good. Yeah.
Probably smoke one of these excellent blacks when I finish this. But I'm gonna finish this out. Now that the weather has broken a little bit, I am literally sitting outside on a conference call. And I just lit up the GTO and then started smoking it. What you smoking today?
Yeah, today I got a 7 by 70 La Flor Dominicana Lajero. It's one of the cigars I like to get when I'm going to be on the road. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I'm just sitting somewhere for a long time. I like going to the casino, so that's usually like my casino smoke.
Oh,
I
okay.
just can bring. I don't have to worry about having a whole pocket full of cigars.
Uh-huh.
I just have one, and when I'm done with that one, I know it's pretty much time to go.
Right, right. That'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. I don't have my stand today. That's why you're getting this odd picture today. I don't know. I couldn't find it, so we'll misplace that. But if we do have a short video telling you what the cigar of the week is, you can view that here.
Welcome back to Churchill Smoke Shop Cigar of the Week. This week's cigar is Excellent Black from Soul Day Cigar Company. Soul Day Cigar Company specializes in producing hand-rolled Dominican cigars. These cigars come in a natural leaf culebra and a Maduro leaf culebra. Treat yourself to an exclusive cigar package available only through Soul Day Cigar Company at Churchill Smoke Shop. Also, Soul Day Cigar Company event will be happening on September 17th at Churchill Smoke Shop. The cigar company is owned by good brothers of the Leaf, Jeremy Ward. I think you guys should come down and try out this new cigar.
With that being said, Abraham, we got this week, man. We're gonna start off with the Mel Tucker situation. If you're not familiar with the
Yeah.
Mel Tucker situation, we got a short video we'll run. But
Here's what you need to know about Mel Tucker's sexual harassment allegations. Tucker teamed up with Brenda Tracy, a rape survivor who educates athletes about sexual violence. Tucker brought Tracy in multiple times to speak to his players and staff. Their professional friendship grew into a private adult relationship, including many late-night calls and exchanging gifts. Tracy has now filed a Title IX complaint against Tucker, claiming she sat frozen for several minutes on a video call while Tucker made sexual comments about her and masturbated. The idea that someone could know me and say they understand my trauma, but then re-inflict that trauma on me is so disgusting to me. Tucker claims she initiated the discussion that night by sending a provocative picture of them together and suggested what she may look like without clothes. Tucker acknowledged masturbating on the call, but said they had consensual phone sex. I'm not proud of my judgment, and I am having difficulty forgiving myself for getting into this situation, but I did not engage in misconduct by any definition. What should Michigan State do with Mel Tucker? He is currently suspended without pay.
What's your take on what's going on with the Michigan State coach Mel Tucker?
Hey, this is just another case, a man who cannot control his passion.
Right.
Where you get put in a position of trust, a position of authority.
Uh-huh.
You don't go around acting like you're in a frat house.
Yeah.
Now when you're dealing with two adults, but you're dealing with someone who, if you knew something about them, the track record, that you would know not to ever go there.
Right.
And so many potential partners, sexual partners out there to put your job in jeopardy, making bad decisions.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I was trying to fix that camera a little bit because I don't have a stand, and it's just not giving a full view. But yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, at the end of the day, his fault. I mean, the whole thing is shady in itself. I mean, they said there's 27 calls. The call length was like 30 minutes a call. It's clear the relationship was consensual. Now, one thing I did found out today, that people are saying that he was married and all of this. Actually, they say he was going through a separation. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how this plays out, because if it's consensual, you don't have the probable cause to fire him. That's $90 million Michigan State going to be on the hook for, which I'm sure they come to some kind of agreement, because they don't want this case to go any further. Because the way it all plays out, it looks like a former trustee didn't like the team's performance, so they were getting updated on this situation, and he decided to release it to the press, trying to force him being fired from the university. But in turn, it has put the university in jeopardy, in big jeopardy. Not only does the woman wants to sue, but it puts them in jeopardy of having to pay Mel Tucker.
Now, the situation was not something that Mel Tucker himself brought to light.
Right.
It wasn't like there was an allegation, or if he had done something criminally or wrong, or something where he was at liability. This was a vindictive act. Say, okay, I got some dirt on you.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that out there so your reputation be tarnished. And in fact, people won't want you in the position anymore.
Right.
The whole point of releasing the information wasn't for justice. It was because the person did not agree with his coaching administration.
Yeah, it was very vindictive. You're 100% right. They did that. Whoever did it, they did that to try to get rid of him. And that right there in itself, it got a chance to cost the university. Well, he's owed $90 million. But you know how these things work. They'll settle it. I mean, I'm sure he'll get maybe a third or half of that just to make this thing go away. But this is an expense the university wasn't thinking about taking on.
We look at it. Maybe not 1/3, maybe the majority of it. I'll tell you why. Usually, when someone gets fired with or without cause, if without cause, they usually encourage you pay the contract out.
Yeah.
But they'll have a no compete clause. Many times, where you have to sit out a year or 2 years. But the situation is that if he were to look for another job, no one would touch him at this point.
No.
So he has been injured, beyond that point. So he's looking for his check, which is what he was owed, and perhaps something to compensate him for the lack of income that he may have going for the next few years, or however long to get his reputation tied up, or for the furor of it all to die down.
You know what? They're saying that what he probably would end up doing, because you're right, because a lot of times what they do with a lot of these coaches that they owe money to, they will pay them out as long as they don't get a job. If they have an out, if they get a job, they can defer those payments. So what he probably look for is, like you said, a lump sum, and then he will get something as long as he's out of work. Which that's a lot of them. They say, "Well, shit, I'm not going back." I got all this money here, but
Well, if I get 80 or 90 million dollars in a lump sum,
mhm.
I'll probably sit at home or volunteer my services somewhere.
Yeah, shit, go over there with Prime in Colorado. It helped him out because he was the former Colorado State coach. So look at that.
Right.
Hey, man, I will let you know the streak continues. I'm drinking this is simply today, staying away from bourbon. Trying to do it for a whole month. It's hard though. It's real. I almost broke yesterday, but I'm hanging in there. But look, hey, me and you had a discussion yesterday concerning the video. We're gonna play that video right here for you.
My wife passed away and left me with 2 children, but I just found out through DNA that they are not my children. I am 36 years old. Please advise me what y'all think he should do.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here. Y'all gonna.
No, but seriously, this is a tough situation. You already lose your wife, and then you find out the kids you thought were yours are somebody else's? I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, but my advice to this man would be, that man may have had the joy of making those kids, but you will have the joy of raising those kids. So man up, you get in there and you raise those kids and make sure they have a great life. That's what you need to do. I'm lying. I'm not doing that. My real answer is
kids.
Kids?
Yeah.
Well, if you saw in the video, it's a brother who's, I guess he called in for some advice on the case. Whereas, from what we understand, if you listen to it, his wife dies. They have 2 kids, but he finds out for some reason they had, I don't know if it was a medical reason. He doesn't say all this in the letter, but he finds out the 2 kids aren't his biological kids. So he asks the question, what should he do? And me and you talked about it yesterday, and we went through these scenarios, and it stayed on my mind. And I kept going back and forth with it because I was sitting there thinking, like, man, if those kids are like 5 years old and I've been raising them since birth, could I keep that secret? I mean, I was literally asking myself this: could I keep that secret? And part of me saying that, yeah, man, I probably just take it to the grave. Especially because you just spent that, especially that you spent so much time with them at that age, and you thought they was yours already. But it's still gonna be burning you in the back of your mind, and let alone it. Now it's all pertaining if I know if the dude is still out there. Like if I know who the father is, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know, but we had talked about. What's your take on it, Abe? Again?
And my take is, I want to know what type of relationship he had with the children.
Right.
And before anyone says anything, like, he was the children's father. Like, how old were the kids? What was going on in the house? Uh, to me, if he had a normal relationship with the children up to this point, I don't see where he would want to remove them or not take care of them any further.
Right.
Even if that's the case, because the kids, it's not their fault.
No, it's
and and you probably can't even explain to them, whatever age they are, so exactly what's going on. So of course the morally right thing will be to take care of the kids because you were in fact married to their mother, whether or not they're your biological kids or not, and she passed away, and you left those kids in your care. So
yeah, you said something.
Of,
you said something yesterday that it dawned on me that's what triggered my mind when you said, well, hell, if he signed that birth certificate, and I thought about it, like, damn, you're right. If he signed that birth certificate,
yeah, You said his wife died. You didn't
Yeah.
say his baby mama died.
Right.
And even if it was baby mama, and you signed that birth certificate
Right.
at the hospital, you are legally responsible for that child until otherwise noted. And
Right.
you have to go to court, and your parental rights will have to be taken away
Right.
or redistributed to the correct party.
Mm-hmm. What's going on, man? Yeah, so you're right. That is something. That's something else because that's the big thing. Like, man, but I was telling myself, yeah, I can keep that secret. They'll never know, and I never tell them. But then if a medical emergency arises and you need them, but see, here's the thing. Let's say that does happen. Hell, I don't know who it is. He never said in the video you saw. The guy never divulged all that other information, like he said earlier. Like, do you know who she had the affair with? Do you know? You don't know nothing about the family or nothing like that. I mean, shit. And then another thing, man. Here's the other thing. Kids aside, you're gonna be. I know what I would do. I would be up all night sometime thinking like, who is this motherfucker who fucked my wife? Excuse my language. Like you'll be thinking about like who was it? You start replaying stuff in your mind, like the time she said she was late from work, or late coming in one night, or hanging out, or was she with that person? You know how it works. All that shit run through your mind about scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, Preston, see, you're a smart guy. You're a stand-up type guy. See, a lot of people, they can't have those thoughts because they haven't been completely, forthright in their situation as well. So, you got certain people, they might have been out cheating themselves. So they wasn't wondering what their wife was doing when they was out doing what they were doing. And so, but the fact is, you find out, and we don't know if he knows or not. He might know. You kind of might have a sixth sense that, like, no, there's nothing happening there. They just friends, or they just homeboy, homegirl, or, he might have happened to cross him, at his job or whatever. But even then, it's a tall legal hurdle to get over where you can just separate yourself from each other.
Well, look, that brings up another question. See, I don't believe that homeboy, homegirl shit. I just don't. I mean, look, yeah. Let's be honest. With a dude that close to a lady for that long time, at some point he wanted to hit it. She might didn't offer it to him. She might didn't give it to him. But nah, it ain't. Well, I'm gonna be her friend just in case. But nah.
Well, I'm not. Okay. Let's redefine what I mean by homeboy, homegirl. No, I'm not talking about this old platonic shit. Okay. I'm talking like, let's say you're from a small town.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you.
Grew
up together with the high school.
Yeah,
all that.
you grew up together.
Right.
I'm not saying that y'all were close friends or something, but and the person happened to be in the same city. Like y'all, you'll move away. Say, let's say, we're not gonna say New Orleans, but New Orleans is a big place. But just even New Orleans, everybody you grew up with around in New Orleans.
Right.
They came to Jackson, and you would see them occasionally because they live in the same neighborhood or whatever, and you might mention that person, like, yeah, that's my homegirl or so and so. I knew her from 7th grade or whatever. Yeah, just in passing, but you kind of wonder, like, if the name get brought up too many times, like what's the significance of it?
Right. You say the name. That's a good way to put it.
I thought I thought you said you barely knew this person. I mean, I thought you said that y'all wasn't really friends back in the day, but why is this person's name getting brought to the table?
That's a good way to put it. That sure is something. The name pop up a couple of times too many. Like, wait a minute. Cause see, like, I know you hear it too. You see these ladies out here, they're talking about, oh, he's just my friend. We just hang out and get drinks. Nah.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, ladies, right now, listening to me right now. if you got a guy hanging around you and you think he's your friend, call him one night and ask him to come over like at 2:00 in the morning.
Bingo.
And see what happens. Oh, he just my friend. He don't think like that. Watch.
I'm telling you, that that tang is a powerful thing. And I've been around you and all this, and you hit me up at that late night hour, and you might have a sob story, somebody did you wrong or whatever, and like I need
right.
you, I'm coming. So, that's simple as that. So I'm gonna see what's happening.
Hey, you sound like Proud now. We coming.
Hey, you gotta be there for a friend, right?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
like if your homeboy tire blow out on I-20
Right.
at 3:00 in the morning, and we're not gonna talk about AAA and all that stuff because sometimes after hours you just can't get service from that
Right.
kind of stuff. Or you can't even get a record truck sometimes at 3:00 in the morning. But your homeboy who's 20 minutes down the road, he can come on and help you out.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Sometimes you go help somebody out, in the late night hour, but it happens.
Well, just like the video last week we played about the lady who when we were on here last week, about the lady who said her and her friends leaving the club and it was like 3:00 in the morning and she called all her guy friends and none of them wouldn't, come get out of bed and help her out. And she started saying men ain't shit. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, you probably called a bunch of guys that was in your friend zone and you called them to come out there and help you 3:00 in the morning. And they were like, well, wait a minute. She been towing me around for all this time. Now she calling me at 3:00. Hell no, I ain't going out there. That's what she got.
See, that's what happens. When you got dick in the glass,
Mm-hmm.
You just can't push and pull these people any kind of way. He might want to have gone out with her himself that Friday night,
Mm-hmm.
but she played him to the left to kick it with some homegirls, but they was gonna hook up with some other dudes. We call spade a spade.
Right.
And so you was out there with them other dudes, they all in your face, and now you got an emergency. What's up with old boy?
Why he take care?
His number two.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Why.
That's how we think. Yeah. There's another video of this lady, she got mad that she said was her best friend. They went to school together, they've been hanging out with each other, they take care of each other when he's sick.
Right.
He unfollows her on all social media when he got a girlfriend.
Right.
And she was upset, said she don't understand how he threw her friendship away so quickly. And I'm sitting there thinking like, well, he got a lady now. His girl is not gonna. That's what my mind immediately went to. But she said she didn't care if he got a little girlfriend. She don't care if he got a little girlfriend. But they've been friends, and they should continue to be friends even with him having a girlfriend. I'm sitting there thinking like, he can't do that.
No,
you wouldn't want that.
No. See, the thing about it was, he evaluated the value of their friendship. And he figured that he could not maintain his relationship,
Yes.
or it would be awkward,
Right.
for them to maintain that same level of friendship, even though he's in a romantic relationship with someone else.
Right.
And you gotta respect that. You gotta respect the boundaries that people set forth.
Yeah.
And I've been in that situation.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes your friends don't maintain their boundaries. You got something going on, and they quick to try to put something in your ear or say negative things or simply be present when it's an awkward situation where it could be misconstrued as something else. So when you set those boundaries, sometimes people don't understand that. But that's what I have to do for my mental health, for my well-being, and maybe if you don't get you some business, you won't be so worried about it.
There you go. I mean, think about it. I mean, we all had situations when we single Well, you have women that you're close to that you go get drinks with. You might have dinner every now and then. You might chill at each other's house every now and then. And the only reason that it doesn't go further is because one of you kind of like make sure it stays where it stays. But you always have that ink that you always have that aura that okay, it could happen. And like you said, if she called the wrong time or catch you on the wrong day, it can happen. And 90% of guys when they cut a girl off and they get a new girl because they know that they can't have that hovering around their current relationship. I mean, that's just kind of obvious. I don't know what was so hard for her to figure that out for. I mean, that's kind of obvious. If a man is willing to do that, women do it all the time. I always know.
All the time.
Yeah. Hey, look, I got a few friends right now that I've known for years. They always a call. We'll check on each other, send a text. When they go ghost for a long period of time, I already know. Okay, yeah, she's probably seeing somebody right now.
You know something's going on.
Yeah, she's seeing
You don't
somebody.
have to spell it out.
But
You let them have their time.
right,
Let them have their time.
right.
And if they want to come back, they'll come back.
And they always do because you always like somebody you hear from. Like think about it, somebody you haven't texted in months. All of a sudden, text you, hey, how's it going? Like, first thing pop up
Something
about
has
it.
changed.
Something changed. Yep, something changed.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from you in like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
and then when you text them, they start to give you a story. Well, this didn't happen. Like,
every time.
Like,
Every time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know the next time you're free. We can go out and get drinks or something like that. And I just go, okay, never call them. Like, okay, no.
Right. And usually those text messages come from a brand new number. Because whatever went down, it was so bad, they got a whole new phone. Because whoever they were dealing with, they don't even want that person to be able to contact them. So this is my new number. I'll tell you later why.
Yeah,
so
and
okay.
And then the crazy part about it, you don't know who it is when they first hit you. You're like, who is this? Like, because it's not in your phone, and you're like, who's this? I don't know who that is. And then you have to go through the whole monotony of, that's just crazy. But it happens, like I said, it happens every day. It happens every day.
Every day.
It's just part of life. The other thing, before we get out of here, because it's getting close to that time. See the whole uproar lately about I keep forgetting this lady's name, but she's one of these new female rappers. I mean, they just hood rat to the bone.
Oh yeah, you talking about Sexy Red?
Yeah,
the one that got the pound. Oh no, they got Glorilla. That's one female rapper from Memphis.
And
they got the newer one, Sexy Red. She's the one that had the song about Pound Town.
Yeah,
and talking
and that other one, the one that was in the VMA that was laid down on the carpet and twerking. I know it's Suki something. Suki.
Sufiyana.
Yeah, bro, what's going on, man? Who listening to that?
Oh yeah. Oh, evidently, plenty of people are listening to it because that's all they play on WGMI, our local radio station during the daytime. And it's so much going on with that. And if you're not familiar with Sufiyana or Sufihana, she was featured on the Love and Hip Hop show in Atlanta. So that kind of lets you know.
Oh, really?
It's a hot mess.
I didn't even know that.
Hot mess situation. I would see blurbs from different articles and stuff talking about it, and I would see video clips. And recently, she had a clip where there was a young man on a TV show with her, and he forcibly kissed her on the air.
Really?
And they were conversation was because she's so open about her sexuality and stuff. Does that make her open for people to do that kind of stuff? And of course, it is. Sexual assault is never cool. It could be a porn star. It could be a whatever. If it's unwanted, it's not cool. And the guy was just acting like, oh, that's just normal stuff. So I can force her to don't kiss me and I
Oh,
can grab her by the neck and all this stuff.
oh man.
So you talking about these people that live these trauma type lifestyles, and
Okay.
they stuff they're rapping about. It probably is drawn from real life events, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's to me it's some garbage music.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's I
they
mean,
can
it's
make money.
bottom of the barrel. I mean, it's bottom of the barrel. I mean, I was, and I'm glad that I didn't hear about. I'm glad I'm just like hearing about all this stuff now, because that's at least saying that okay, there is some barriers that it never got to me till now. But I'm blown away when I saw him. I was like, is this real? I mean, people really listening to this? I mean, the imagery alone is enough to make you turn shit off. But it's just then you listen to what they say, you be like, who listening to this?
So
That's
it's like they're
crazy.
trying to one up each other.
Yeah.
It was an interview where Glorilla said that when she messing with her man, she like for him to ejaculate on her food and she eats it.
Oh,
And then she
I
like,
can't
oh, I
believe
was just joking.
it. Okay.
And then it's like, but you saying this in the interview, and
Yeah.
everything you said is going to be transcribed and put in the media, whether it's written or in newspaper or the blog or something. You know, and so it's like they just take things for shock value, but then they want to backtrack and like, oh, I'm not really like that.
I would tell you,
I was just saying,
I saw what Umar Johnson had said. She could, early on, she could be forgiven. If she's trying to straighten her life out, but then she go and continue to do this stuff she's doing. You know, at some point, man, women gonna have to stand up and say, "Hey, look, this is enough of this." I mean, we can't do it because you know there's a purpose for women like that in the world for us, for men. I'm just not for me and you. I'm just saying for men in general. There's a service those type of women provide. I mean, there's no different from somebody walking on a street corner. So it can't be men that say, "Hey, this is not representative of us." Women got to say that. They got to say like, "Hey, why is this on TV? Why are you promoting
okay,
this?"
it's just like a line from the rapper Shine. He
Mm,
like, he said hip hop is not responsible for balancing America.
yes.
America is responsible for balancing America. And so, in other words, we can't rap about this stuff if it wasn't really happening.
Yeah,
So
that's
why
true.
don't you straighten up your society so we don't have that to rap about anymore? So
That's
the
fair.
women need to take the women under their arm, and us men, we need to get these young guys to
Yeah,
stop promoting this misogyny and all this hatred
yeah,
and all this endless violence
yeah.
and stuff. Because
That's
none of
fair.
it serves us any good. You know, whether you want to talk about horror or you want to talk about killing. It's the same difference to me, and it's causing a degradation of society where you got young kids that don't have anything to look forward to. They
That's
they
true.
want they want to get a gun. They want to have arbitrary sex with anybody. They don't want to respect boundaries. You know, and, and what do we have left at that point?
That's true. No doubt. I mean, that's 100 right there. Well, look, it's about
So
our
my
time.
thing is,
Go ahead.
you know, you know, as far as I'm concerned, now they might get some money from when I happen to click on the YouTube to see what people talking about. That one fraction of a 1 cent, you know.
Yeah,
But if we don't like this stuff, stop supporting it.
yeah.
Stop playing this junk at your parties. So stop, hear the radio station. Hey, I refuse to listen to you until you take this junk off. And
Yeah,
maybe things will change.
that is true. That's one way to do it because I know I damn sure ain't listening to it. Well, guys, that's about our time this week on the Good Brothers Committee. Appreciate your head scout being out today. You got anything you want to say before we get
Hey,
out of
no
here?
problem. No, I just want to wish everybody, a happy rest of the weekend.
Oh,
And be safe and think twice before you do something that you can't take back.
there you go. Good deal. Again, remember the cigar of the week was the Excellent Black from Cigar, sold the cigar company owned by Jeremy Ward. Again, look forward to the event. There'll be an event in Churchill toward the end of September, which you'll come out and you have all the cigars out. Come out and grab you one. This is a really good smoke, Dominican cigar. And if all else fail, hey, look, the Jackson State game will be on at Churchill this weekend, as well as all other college football. And we're always running beer and cigar specials. So with that being said, Good Brothers Committee, y'all have a good weekend. Peace.